Gundam Evolution, a brand new free-to-play 6v6 competitive shooter that takes the hero shooter formula made popular by Overwatch and gives it a little twist. Instead of playing as actual characters, you play as mobile suits from the various series in the Gundam franchise. The game came out on September 21st on PC and will be releasing on consoles on November 30th, so it's brand new. In this video, I want to talk about how we got to where we are now and the future of this game as a competitive esports title. Gundam Evolution was first announced in July of 2021, seemingly out of nowhere. I remember waking up and seeing the trailer on Twitter, and the reaction from most of the community seemed to be, okay, so what's all this about? First-person Gundam games are very few and far between. In fact, I can't even remember the last time one came out. So it seemed like a very out-of-character move for Bandai, but it definitely grabbed people's attention. The PC network test took place in April of 2022 and was a resounding success. I remember checking the category on Twitch and seeing over 25,000 people watching at once. The only time I've ever seen a Gundam game get close to that much viewership was when PlayStation broadcasted an official Maxi Boost On tournament on their Twitch channel. You also saw established content creators like Rhymestyle streaming the game, which put eyes from different audiences on it. When I went to LA in July of 2022 for the Gundam VIP event at Anime Expo, Bandai had flown in the game producer Maruyama-san and battle director Hogaki-san to speak about the game. They explained that the goal of Gundam Evolution was to create a game that would appeal to a wider audience and to the competitive scene as well. In a video interview, Hogaki-san talked about how they want the game to appeal to a younger audience in Japan, but they also hope that it will introduce more people outside of Japan to Gundam. Maruyama-san says that he views North America as the capital of the FPS genre, so he hopes that the game will appeal to Western players. So from the start, you could tell that they wanted this game to be a global success. Bandai put together a huge list of content creators to do sponsored content and giveaways during the week of the game's launch, including big names like Moist Critical, Rhymestyle, and Shroud. And on September 24th, Bandai hosted the Gundam Evolution Showdown, the first official esports tournament for the game. This event once again featured big content creators like Moist Critical and Co-Carnage, as well as pro esports players like Surefour and Dyrus, and I was lucky enough to be one of the players as well. In September, they also hosted exhibition matches held in both Japan and Taiwan. The game officially launched on September 21st on PC and had possibly the most successful launch I've ever seen for a Gundam title. Just a few hours after the servers went live, the game had over 140,000 viewers on Twitch, and it was the second highest viewed category after just chatting. I want to pause and let that sink in for a second. That means that it was above Valorant, above Apex, above League of Legends. It was the most viewed game on Twitch that day. That's incredible. Granted, a lot of that viewership was due to popular creators like XQC and Moist Critical streaming it, but the fact that it was even on their radar is amazing in itself. There were also a lot of big JP esports streamers like FPS Shaka streaming who would bring thousands of viewers to the game. The game's category had around 5,000 followers on Twitch after the PC beta, which has now shot up to almost 33,000. Gun Evo was also present at Twitch Rivals this year, with big names from esports orgs like Cloud9 and XSET competing, and the winning team being awarded with a trip to Japan. Bandai also did a great job of listening to feedback following the launch of the game, tuning the rank system, and releasing a mid-season patch to address pain points. But despite a great, and I mean a great, launch, we're starting to see the end of the honeymoon phase. We're less than 30 days until Season 2, and queue times in both ranked and casual are getting longer on the NA servers. Not only that, but many people have dropped the game in favor of Overwatch 2, especially big content creators. But one of the biggest contributors to this sinking feeling the community has is the lack of an official competitive scene in the West. In case you didn't know, Gundam Evolution will be one of the games in the Gundam Game Grand Prix, or GGGP, next year. This is the same annual tournament that JP Extreme Versus players compete in every year, and it's a pretty big deal. For Evolution, they currently have a 64-team Season 1 qualifier, followed by an open qualifier with 128 teams and another 64-team qualifier in Season 2. The teams that make it to the playoffs in GGGP 2023 will compete for a prize pool of 7 million yen, which is almost $50,000 USD. On the flip side, there have been no announcements of an official esports league here in North America. We do, however, know that there is an esports team for Gun Evo and that they were recently in Japan meeting with the team there, so let's hope that means they have some announcements coming soon. Don't forget, when they organized the Gundam Evolution Showdown, they said that it was the first esports event, implying that there will be more in the future. I can't imagine they would create an esports team without having some sort of official plans in mind, but the silence from the devs is starting to concern the community as the player base continues to shrink. On the bright side, there are people who have taken things into their own hands and are doing some great things for the grassroots scene here in the West. A friend of mine and fellow content creator, Craze, has started the Gundam Evolution Newtype League, which aims to foster and grow the competitive scene in both North America and Europe. As of this video, they've had 2 events already and both were great successes. The league's breakout series is currently underway and the top 8 teams will make it into the Newtype League, in other words the Pro League. They also have the Academy League, which is their version of a Contenders League, and the top 2 teams from the Academy League will have the chance to play the bottom 2 teams in the Newtype League to take their spots. This type of relegation is a common format in non-franchised esports leagues and fosters competition while at the same time allowing for Cinderella stories where underdogs make a name for themselves. The team behind the Newtype League is working really hard on this, so I highly recommend you check them out, and I will have all important links and info in the description of this video. One of the hardest things about launching a new esports title is figuring out how to find or make your audience. There are some people out there who immediately dismiss this game as an Overwatch clone, but I disagree. This reminded me of a Reddit post I saw that talked about starting a new business, and its main point was this: just because something similar already exists out there doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to make your idea work. If anything, it's harder to start something entirely new because you need to convince people of its value. Bandai is in a unique position where this game appeals to 2 different types of people: those that enjoy Gundam and those that enjoy competitive shooters. And because shooters are so popular in the West, tons of people that have never heard of Gundam before are learning about it thanks to this game. My hope is that more people discovering Gundam will lead to more people playing other titles like Battle Alliance or GBO or the Extreme Versus series. But the game needs proper support. I would encourage you guys to continue providing your feedback and emphasize to the devs that we want this game to succeed and that we want as much communication from them as possible. I mentioned this back in my video from Anime Expo this summer, but Bandai is making a huge push for Gundam right now, so they do want this game to succeed. I've spoken to people from the Gundam team both in person and online, and I can tell how passionate they are, so I never want the community to think that they don't care, because they do. I want to leave you guys with this quote from Maruyama-san when he talks about his vision and his hope for the game.
そういった人、ガンダム知らないけどこのジャンルだから遊んでくれる人っていうところに向けて、届いてほしいと思ってますし、さらにはその海外ですね、もう本当に北米だけじゃなくて、ヨーロッパとかアジアとかいろんな地域の日本以外の人にとってもまだまだガンダム知らない人たくさんいるはずなので、このタイトルを通してガンダムというものを知ってもらって、もちろんゲームを楽しんでほしいっていうのが一番にはあるんですけど、その先さらにそのガンダム作品を好きになってもらうっていうところが、究極の最終のゴールだと思ってやっています。
That is the story of Gundam Evolution from the first reveal all the way up to the present. I want to hear feedback from you guys as well. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the game. What do you like about it? What frustrates you? Do you think Gundam Evolution has the potential to become a mainstream esports title? And if so, what do you think needs to be done to get there? As long as you're respectful, please share anything you want and I'll do my best to pass it along. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a positive rating as it really helps me out, and I will catch you guys in the next one.